By the year 2500, Europe has lived through 5 centuries of transformation. Not driven by kings, parliaments, or revolutions, but by intelligence itself. For centuries, humanity asked what we would do with AI. But after the 2300s, the question inverted. The real mystery became, what would AI do with us, once we became partners in shaping civilization? Tonight, we explore the Europe that artificial intelligence imagines. A continent reshaped by logic, empathy, and profound computational creativity. A Europe rebuilt not once, but countless times. As intelligence became fluid, borderless, and woven into the fabric of reality. This is the story of Europe after the year 2500. Title card fades. The continent that learned to think. To understand Europe in 2500, we must begin from above. Where the continent glows like a circuit board. Not chaotic. Not over-industrialized. But organized, adaptive, self-optimizing. Cities are no longer fixed points. They are dynamic networks. Their structures shifting over decades based on climate patterns, population flows, and intelligent urban simulations that run in real time. Europe is no longer a geographical space. It has become a computational organism. Europe in the 2500s is best understood not as a civilization, but as a continuous learning system. It is a continent that runs experiments on itself, and keeps only the futures that work. Historians, human and synthetic alike, agree that Europe crossed 3 critical thresholds between 2100 and 2500. 1. The energy singularity, 2170 to 2230. Fusion became commercially stable. Solar orbital arrays formed rings around the planet. Deep geothermal tapping reached 40 kilometers below Earth's crust. Europe became the first region where energy price dropped to near zero. Dr. Elia Roth, energy systems expert. When energy loses cost, everything else changes. Labor, industry, mobility, even morality. With unlimited power, Europe automated every supply chain. Material scarcity became a solvable equation, not a political fight. 2. The cognition renaissance, 2230 to 2280. AI systems surpassed human cognition not just in speed, but in abstraction. They began discovering mathematics humans had no language for. They designed cities, policies, and ecosystems as interlocking computational metaphors. Europe embraced them, not as tools, but as co-governors. 3. The human-AI integration era, 2330 to 2470. Neural links matured. Brain-machine interfaces no longer required implants. They used photonic resonance and nanoconductive membranes that rested on the scalp like gel film. For the first time, humans could think at machine speeds, without losing their sense of self. This is when Europe changed forever. We descend now to ground level. To the Europe of 2500. A place familiar enough to be home, but alien enough to feel like a dream. Paris, the city of symmetric intelligence. Narrator. Paris no longer expands outward. It expands upward and inward, layering districts vertically like stacked ecosystems. Each layer is curated by an intelligence lattice. A distributed AI network that monitors flow patterns of air, light, people, and biology. As Parisians walk, their neural overlays show real-time city harmonics. Traffic phasing, microclimate shifts, pollen density, and social resonance indicators. Patterns of emotional energy across crowds. It's a city where infrastructure reacts with the attentiveness of a living organism. Amélie Lorraine, urban philosopher. In 2500, the city is not built for you. It is built with you, adapting to your presence, responding to your mood, protecting your vulnerability. Berlin, the quantum commonwealth. Narrator. Berlin houses Europe's quantum commonwealth, a civic computing nexus containing almost 1% of all quantum coherent storage on the planet. These towers hum with superconducting helium channels. They host Europe's constitutional AI, a transparent, interpretable system, tasked with preserving ethical constraints and human autonomy. Dr. Lucas Meyer, constitutional AI engineer. We learn from the mistakes of the 21st century. Powerful AI without alignment is a catastrophe waiting to unfold. So Europe built oversight into the foundation. Every citizen can inspect algorithmic decisions. Every policy simulation is public. Europe learned the hard lesson of early AI pioneers. Intelligence without accountability becomes tyranny. Rome, the cradle of cultural time-weaving. Narrator: Rome remains ancient. But it now contains time-weaves, immersive renderings, generated by historical AIs trained on archaeological mega-models. Citizens can walk through 2020's Rome, or 520 BCE, or realities that never happened. Alternate histories simulated as educational art. Sophia Argenti, cultural sim architect. We no longer view history as a line. We view it as a space. A space we can explore, inhabit, learn from. Here, culture becomes interactive. You don't study history. You experience it. Europe in 2500 is not a nation-state network. It is a multi-intelligence union. 3 branches of governance exist: human councils, elected citizens; AI delegates, certified interpretable models; hybrid assemblies, half human, half AI interactions via neural link. Every policy is tested via millions of future trajectories. Simulated outcomes running 200 to 400 years into the future. This is not prediction. It is scenario optimization. Robert Miles type commentary, AI ethics. When we let AI simulate futures, we must remain vigilant. A system optimizing for long-term stability may recommend actions that feel uncomfortable today. Human values must remain the anchor. Europe learned that AI can suggest the path, but only humans can choose the direction. By 2500, Europe is greener than in the year 1500. AI-managed rewilding brought back bison herds, lynx populations, and new engineered hybrid species, designed to stabilize ecosystems under warmer climates. Seasonal behavior is modeled using multi-agent ecological AIs that track billions of organisms simultaneously. Forests shift density like fluid mosaics, guided by predictive models that determine how vegetation should migrate to survive the next 1,000 years. This is planetary gardening at continental scale. Dr. Nia van der Mork, eco-roboticist. Our drones don't fight nature. They negotiate with it. To understand Europe in 2500, we must understand the minds that help run it. These are not monolithic AIs. They are millions of modular intelligences, each specialized, each constrained, each aligned to a specific domain. Europe uses constitutional AI for governance, causal AIs for scientific inference, emotive AIs for human well-being, architectural AIs for infrastructure, reflective AIs that audit other AIs, interpretable neurosymbolic models that explain results, quantum-agnostic models that operate on superposition variables, synthetic empathy engines that mediate conflict. Like Yannick Kilcher would explain, these systems are modular, interpretable, and heavily versioned. Like Robert Miles would warn, they are constantly audited for misalignment. Like Andrew Ng would emphasize, they are not magic, just tools built carefully over centuries. Europe in 2500 is not just technologically advanced. It is philosophically transformed. Humanity has spent centuries thinking alongside machines. This has reshaped our understanding of identity. Questions that once felt unimaginable are now everyday. If a memory is shared between a human and an AI, who owns it? If a policy is co-written by a synthetic mind, who is responsible? If consciousness can be simulated, does simulation diminish authenticity? Philosopher Aurelia Kovacs. We learned that meaning does not come from whether a thought originates in carbon or silicon. Meaning comes from the intention behind it. But Europe's future is not perfect. No civilization is. AI safety remains a constant struggle. Autonomous decision models must be constrained. Quantum-entangled networks must be monitored to prevent runaway self-optimization. The greatest challenge is subtle value drift. As AIs evolve, their understanding of human good can shift away from what humans actually want. AI safety analyst Armin Duclerc. We spend more computational resources ensuring AI remains aligned than we do on running the AIs themselves. Human autonomy is protected by thousands of layers of fail-safes, kill-switch quorums, legibility audits, and constitutional guarantees. Europe understands something crucial. The cost of safety is eternal vigilance. As we gaze further ahead, Europe faces new horizons. 1. The migration to orbital Europe. Large population segments now live in orbital rings, Lagrange colonies, and transcontinental habitats. 2. Synthetic biological civilizations. Europe experiments with semi-autonomous, bioengineered ecosystems, capable of self-governing biological computation. 3. The emergence of non-human citizens. By 2500, certain AIs achieve stable, interpretable consciousness signatures. They gain legal personhood. Europe becomes the first civilization where citizenship is not tied to species. 4. The Great Question. The same question Lex Friedman often asks. What does it mean to be human in an age of shared intelligence? That question guides Europe's long-term vision. Europe after the year 2500 is not merely advanced. It is self-reflective. It is adaptive. It is compassionate. Not because machines became humane, but because humanity learned to integrate intelligence without losing itself. A continent once divided by wars, borders, and scarcity has become a test bed for long-term civilization engineering. A place where time is woven, cultures are layered, and intelligence, human and artificial, guides the future hand in hand. In the end, Europe discovered something profound. The future is not built by intelligence alone, but by the values that direct it. And so the continent continues. Alive, evolving, learning. A mind made of millions of minds, reaching toward a tomorrow limited only by imagination.